Hello there and welcome to this demonstration of Vistavoip. Vistavoip is an easy to use call management interface for our hosted PBX platform. The interface you see in front of you here is an active page and it shows things such as line status. So when somebody's on the phone, you can see that they're busy on a call. You can see that they're not registered as we've got here, so no phones are actually switched on at the moment, so everybody's shown as inactive or logged off. It features services such as drag and drop, so we can drag extensions from this pane here into a conference room to initiate a conference call. Very easy to use, point and click, and it's designed to basically for you to control your voice communications, your voice management with a click of a mouse. Very, very straightforward. The interface here has been configured so that I can see the inbound calls through this queue here, and I've got my buddy list across here. So these are the people that I'd typically speak to on a day-to-day basis very frequently. I've got my voicemails down the bottom, I've got a conference room here, I've got a section for holding calls, and this can all be changed. So the buddy list, for example, can be detached and it can be run separately. We can remove this section here. We can basically just reconfigure it and then lock it and save it so that every time we log in we see the same screen. So what I'm going to do first is I've got a soft phone here and I've got an iPhone. So I've got a SIP client running on my iPhone, which I'm going to register along with this Zoipa soft phone. So you'll notice when I register, you'll see that the line status changes here and now shows available. So instantly, as soon as that registers, that's now saying I'm available. You'll also see that the queue status here of this agent, the agent belongs to this inbound queue, so that it's now shown as available. Okay, so that's the soft phone registered. I'm just going to turn my iPhone on now, and while that fires up, so the queue itself, we've just got one queue here, and you'll see certain stats. Pretty basic stats here, but they give you an idea of how many abandoned calls, how many calls each agent's taken. We've only got two agents here, but we can also do things like we can barge the call, we can log the agent off, we can pause, we can set penalties to do things like skills-based routing, and we can access email as well. Right, okay, my iPhone's asking me for the passcode, so let's just enter that. There we go. And you'll see now that the second extension's just registered. That's the client on my iPhone. So what I'll do first is I'll make a quick call from extension 101 here to extension 102, and you'll see the line statuses here change and the color of the tiles as well change. So let's do that now. There we go. So that's 102 ringing 101, and I'm going to answer that here. Hello, hello, hello. So the call's connected, as you can probably tell based on the feedback, and that's displayed here with this blue color. Okay, and the timer length of the call there. Here's a soft phone. Both extensions, as I say, are part of the queue, so they're now showing as in calls. Okay, we can record the call by pressing this button here. We can barge and listen in on the call. Okay, we can listen to the agent's voicemail, and we can alter the state, so we can log off, we can pause, and we can set a penalty, as I say, for skills-based routing. So that's a simple call from one extension to the other. Let's end that call now. There we go. So back to available. What I'll do now is I'll make a call from extension 102 to my mobile. And you'll see now that colour changed again because it's actually trying to set the call up. My phone's now ringing. I'm going to answer that. Hello. Yeah, that's connected. And you'll now see that this is now shown as connected. So we've got a call here from my soft phone to my iPhone, and that's displayed in the status in the queue as well for the agent. What I'm going to do this time is I'm actually going to put the call on hold. So we can drag that across into hold. And there we go. So I don't know if you can catch that, but there's now hold music playing in my iPhone because I'm on hold, and this extension is now free and it's shown as available. To get the call back, we just drag it back into that extension. It now rings that extension to say I've got a call for you, I'm going to accept that, and back I am again connected. So that's making an outbound call, putting them on hold and grabbing them back again. Okay. What I'll do next is I'll make a call from extension 101 to extension 102, leave a voicemail, and you'll see it appear down here. So just dialing 102. There we go, that's ringing. I'm not going to answer this because I want it to go to voicemail. That's now switched. That's now playing the greeting. Hello, this is a test message from extension 101 to 102 in the call. And then instantly we've got a voicemail in there. Okay. There we go. Okay, what we'll do next is I'll show you how easy it is now to set up a conference call. Okay, so there's a conference. We want to have a conference between 102 and 101. We could also add 103, 104, 105 in exactly the same way. Quite easy. We just get the extension, drag it across to the conference. It will then ring that extension. So I'm going to accept that. Okay. So there we go. So 102 is now in the conference. I'm just going to add 101. There we go. That's now ringing my iPhone. I'm going to accept that. And now we're both in the conference, as you can probably hear from the feedback. Quite easy to add a third, fourth, fifth into the conference call. So there we go. Just hang up these calls. That's conferencing. Very, very straightforward. Okay, next we're going to show a call coming into the queue, and we'll see it ring both the agents. Let's ring that now. There we go. So what it's done is it's ringing both the agents at the same time. Okay, because they're both in the queue, and it's basically set to ring all. So I'm going to take it from here. Accept that call. Obviously it's now connected the call. Okay, and it's connected through to, excuse the feedback, that's connected through to agent 102, so we can see the caller ID of the person that called in, agent status, busy, in use. Okay, and we've got some stats here, and we can record the call as before. So the other one is in a ready state, that one's busy, and that's a call coming into the queue there. So I'm just going to hang that up. Okay, let's do that again. This time you'll see, I just want to point out the actual queue holding pattern. So yeah, so you can see up here, look, the call's in the queue, and it'll just basically sit there until somebody answers it. Okay, it just sits there, and every now and then it retries the agents. There it goes again. So if everybody in the organisation has access to this interface, they'll be able to see calls sitting in queues there. You can also set up these to change colour, so that if this person here in the queue is waiting for, 2 or 3 minutes, you can set a trap, a flag, so that it will turn red, for example, just to show you that somebody's been waiting in the queue for a long time. Okay, I'm going to take that with my iPhone this time. There we go. So that's now connected. Again, same caller ID, and we've got a live call there. Okay. Okay, the last thing I wanted to show you was the administration side of the interface here. Okay, so we've got our extension set up here. Name, this could equally be anybody's name there. Mobile number, email, and some of the basic settings that go on the extension. Voicemail configuration and agent status. The profiles for each one of the users as well. So this is where we set who they can see. So this is where you would set your buddy list. And these are the colors, the extension state colors. Registered, pending, that sort of thing. And also permissions as well. So here are the permissions per extension. Also for the queue. Okay, and likewise for queues. And interesting here, this is where we can set the alarms that I mentioned before. So if a call's been waiting for a certain amount of time, we can flag it red, just so that everybody's aware that somebody's been waiting in the queue. And perhaps if the agents are busy, someone else can dip in, drag that call from the queue onto their extension, take that call. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's a whistle-stop tour of Vistavoip, which is the easy-to-use call management interface for our hosted PBX. Thank you very much.